All right. Hello, everybody. I am here with Tammy, and I asked Tammy if she would jump on a Zoom meeting with me to talk a little bit about her experience working with me and the results that she got and where she came from, because she's got a pretty cool story to share. So, thank you so much, Tammy, for being here with me today. So, why don't you start by just introducing yourself and just telling us a little bit about what was happening in your life when we first met and we first started talking with each other.
Okay. All right. So I'm Tammy. I'm 45 years old. I've been in the Valley for almost 20 years now. Kids are grown, just about grown. They're 19 and 18. And yeah, so I've always been active, always been outside doing stuff, very fit, moving all the time. The past, I'm going to say 10 years, because it was creeping up, I think. I've been slowly gaining weight, not really paying attention to it or caring about it too much. But this past summer found myself probably 20 pounds heavier than I'd like to be. Not because I care about my size, but I was getting a little bit soft and not super happy with it and didn't know why. Because like I said, I'm very active. I'm moving all the time. So I just didn't know what was going on. Yeah. So I think did I see an ad of yours, Haley, on Facebook?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I had just put it out there. You were. It was when I first launched the program, and so we got on the phone and we had a little chat, and I told you a little bit about what the program was about. So, what made you decide to join after speaking with me?
So, and I think the timing was perfect. I think this was meant to happen because I just came off a summer of just my busiest hiking season ever. Like I was putting the miles in, and yet all my clothes were tight. And not only that, I was getting soft. Like I felt my body was soft. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Right at the same time I saw your ad. So yeah, I contacted you, and yeah, it seemed like the right fit. I think my body was changing and I had no idea how to cope with that. Because everything I was used to doing didn't seem to be cutting it anymore. So yeah, I needed some guidance, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, for sure. So was there anything, like when we first chatted or when we were thinking about it, was there anything that made you decide to almost not join?
You told me to stop running. And yeah, so, and I'm pretty stubborn, and I took me a bit to wrap my head around the whole slow down to make progress.
Mm-hmm.
Just just not my mentality at all, and not anything I'd ever considered doing before. So that was very hard for me to take your advice of slowing down, and I don't know, resting my body, giving it a break, maybe
Mm-hmm.
being
Yeah,
kinder to being kinder to my body.
yeah, a little bit more of a focus on recovery.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
that that
Yeah,
I almost didn't do it. That's the
yeah,
truth.
yeah. But you did. You trusted the
I,
process,
yep.
which was great. And I know how hard that can be, because I think as women, we have been told our whole life that in order to manage our weight, we need to eat less and move more, right? It's drilled into our brain. But you did listen, and I know you slowed it down, and did lots of walking and just the three little workouts that I gave you. So why don't you share some of the specific results that you achieved over 90 days of working with me?
Okay. So I don't know. I can't remember what was my weight starting. 55 or something like that. I can't remember, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
15 pounds, which absolutely, it still blows me away because those were 15 stubborn pounds that I've been trying to get rid of for a long time, a long
Mhm.
time. And my weight wouldn't budge. Like it didn't budge in those years. Like, and I had convinced myself that this is what my body likes. It's happy where it is because there was no way I could get that weight off.
Mhm.
So I kind of accepted it. But obviously it was always there because yeah, when I saw your Facebook, I jumped right on it. Like,
Yeah.
and so then in that time and just changed my eating, changed what I ate. Didn't eat less, probably ate more, to be honest with you. Like I was always had more than enough food. Um, Weight just started coming off, and that's the truth. It just started falling off.
Mhm.
And I was running less. I didn't have as much of an appetite though. It took a little bit of time, but within a few weeks, my cravings dropped. And yeah, I was totally satisfied. But I was losing weight as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, like honestly, it was like I hate to say like magic, but it felt like that to me after trying for so long.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. That's so cool. So were there any like specific strategies or like things that I taught you that you feel like helped the most with you? Like you changed your nutrition, obviously, but anything specific that you're like, oh, that for me, that was a real game changer?
Oh my goodness. Game changer. I
Or anything that you felt like had what maybe the most impact on your results? Or do you think it was just a
I
combination of everything?
the combination, your program's awesome because there's no thought you have to go involved or into it at all. You just
Mhm.
follow the program and it's so easy. Um, Probably meal planning.
Yeah, yeah. That
Actually,
so many women in the program say that the meal planning is like
yeah. And
such
I
a key
never
part of it.
even wrote down what I was doing, but it was in my head. Like
Mhm.
Sunday, I'm like, this is my week. This is what I'm going to do. And
Yeah,
I had it was all there. It was in my fridge. It was ready for me.
yeah.
So yeah, so just knowing what I'm going to do.
That's
Because
awesome.
because I work shift work, I'm all over the map. I pick up shifts at last minute. So sometimes I've got to go for a shift and I need to have food ready because if I don't, I'm going to buy a bag of cheesies.
Yeah,
So yeah, I always have, and I have a freezer full of your meals and they're ready to go. So
yeah,
that's,
yeah. And you do
and
lots of night shifts, right?
I do night shifts. Yep.
Yeah.
And there I used to, and I don't anymore. You'll be so proud of me. I always had a bag of cheesies in my bag and it was my security. I didn't always eat it, but it was there if I needed it. And I don't do that anymore. I
Wow, that's
have,
awesome.
what I have is a little thing of bone broth, and that is the ticket.
There you go. That's amazing. So, last question. Yeah, if you could recommend this program to anyone, like who do you think would benefit most from this program?
In specific, or
Oh, just in general.
I tell you what, most of the women I work with probably, and I don't even think you'd have to be in your 40s. I'd say mid 30s. Um, Anyone who thinks they have to work so hard physically to try and keep that healthy young body. Um, yeah, that's what I think. The more active women, because slowing down was huge,
Yeah.
huge, and then yeah, and then you're kind of able to gain some perspective on what you do really need.
Yeah. Yeah. What your body needs versus what you think it needs, maybe.
That's right. Yeah. So yeah. Um,
Awesome. That's perfect. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with me and with everyone. I hope that you can inspire some of the women that are listening to take action, because I know that for a lot of women, they've almost convinced themselves that weight loss is impossible, kind of like you said, that you come to this point where you're like, this is it, I just have to accept it. But in reality, it probably just is that you haven't quite found what works for your body. So thank you so much for sharing your story. And yeah, I hope that for some of you out there, this inspires you to know that, if you feel like you've been trying everything and you've done everything and nothing is working, well, there's probably a solution. You just haven't found it quite yet. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.